Okay guys, so I'm starting off here cutting pieces of string. Please ignore my son. But yeah, you can use any chair. You can use a tape measure if you want to figure out how long you want your string. I just use something that I could double it over so I can know about how long it's going to be on the top. And your pieces don't have to be 100% equal, at least mine were not. And you can see that also because I go in with scissors at the very end and I make sure that everything is cleaned up, and it just seems a bit tedious to do that at the beginning, making sure that all of the strings are 100% the same amount of inches. Okay, now for a size small, medium, I'm going to do a slip knot and start off with chaining a simple 1/15. Then I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to half double crochet into the second loop from the hook, and I'm going to half double crochet all the way back towards the other end. Once I get to the end, I'm just going to continue to turn my work. I'm also going to take that strand of yarn that we had from the beginning where we did our slip knot and weave it into our half double crochets, and I'm going to continue to turn for a total of about 3 or 4 times, and that will create the band at the bottom. And now that we have the band and it's to the thickness of your liking, we're just going to fold our piece in half, and by all means you can count, divide the 1/15 by 2, and that's how many you're going to half double crochet over. But I'm just going to half double crochet over to that midpoint where I just pointed to. Now that you've got all the way to the midpoint, you just want to turn your work again, and for me I did a size, I want to say C cup, and for those I usually do around 18 chains, so I'm just going to turn like I said and then half double crochet 18 across, skipping the first loop, and that will create the decrease that will give us the triangular look. Then I'm going to turn my work once I do 18, and I'm going to half double crochet all the way back to the other side, skipping one in the beginning. And I'm just going to continue to do that and making sure that I'm decreasing, skipping one in the beginning. You can use numbers, count if you want to. You guys know that I do not like doing that. I think it's way too tedious for easy projects like this. If you just know how to decrease, you should be fine. And then yeah, if you keep doing this, you will get the triangular look like I said. So I will meet you guys once I finish that. Okay, and then once you get to the top of the triangle or broad cup, whatever you want to call it, we just want to clean up the edge, and I usually do that with a simple single crochet, all the way down one side, and then I'll go in on the other side, and once I get to the top, I'll create the tie that will connect to the other tie on the other side, and make this thing atop the ties that go around your neck. So yeah, here you just see me going down the edge and cleaning up those ragged crochet edges that you see. I don't really know what you would call those, but yeah, I just clean those up to make it look a bit more uniform and neat. And I'm going to do that all the way down, even down the part that will go around your back. Hopefully you guys are following along. If not, please go back and rewatch it again. It's really simple, as I mentioned, as long as you're willing to try and you know how to half double crochet and single crochet, you should be good, girl. So yeah, I'm just going to snip that yarn off and continue all the way down, but then I'm going to go in with a slip knot like I said for the other side and clean up the crochet up the other side, so you're not looking raggedy on one side and clean on the other side. And once I get to the top, I'm just going to continue along, as I mentioned before, to create the tie that will connect to the other side and give us our bra cups that will connect to one another. So we're just going to go in with another slip knot, of course, on the opposite side and do the exact same thing. Chain to the middle, turn your work, chain 18, continue to decrease and get that bra cup. And then once you finish that, you should have 2 bra cups and you'll be able to start adding the design. Okay, so now that you have both bra cups, we can go in with the design, and for that we are just going to take our same color yarn, or you could do a different color yarn. Let me know what you guys come up with. I'm always intrigued to see the different combinations, whether you want to do Jamaican colors or American colors or whatever. I'm just taking my slip knot and I'm going to go in on the edge, and for this you will need to do a bit of counting, so I'm just going to chain, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you chain 8, you need to, for me at least, I skip about 2 or 3 less than I chain. So if you chain 10, you want to skip 7, and that will give it that loop. If you chain 7 and then you skip 7, your loop will be really tight on the bralette, if you will. So if you need to skip less than you chain so that you can have that crescent shape for the chains and that they will hang down. Hopefully here you see what I mean about giving it a little bit of leeway and some space between the bralette and the chains, and this is what it came out to be. Hopefully that last part made sense, but now I'm just going to take my yarn and insert it into the chains and go along with our fringes. This is the most tedious part of the top because we do have around more than 100 of these fringes that we have to add, or for me at least, because I know that I did more than 10 of the loops. So for every loop or for every chain, you don't want it to look patchy, and you know, some of them don't have loops. So I like I said, I don't usually do numbers, but for these I try to get as close as possible and do as many fringes as possible because it just makes it look a little bit neater to me. I like the look when they're full versus when you have spaces missing. So I'll show you guys, try to get closer and show you how exactly I'm adding them. So I'm taking the yarn and I'm pulling it all the way down, and then I'm just going to tie that taut. So I usually go in with the yarn already draped over my crochet hook, but I'm just going to go into the chain with the hook, take the yarn, drape it over the hook part, then I'm going to pull it through, give it a little bit of leeway to pull it through, make sure your loop is not too tight, take the 2 strings and loop it over the hook again, and then pull those through the open hole that you left at the beginning. Really simple. If not, keep trying until you get it right. Like I said, because I just went in and cut random pieces, they were not all the same size. This is a tad bit wasteful, but I would rather waste this little teeny tiny bit of yarn than to go in and measure every single piece. So I'm just going to cut them off and make sure that they're long enough. And it was kind of hard cutting them all at the same time, but we're just going to throw away the excess yarn and then you should be done. Oh yeah, and by the way guys, if you don't know, I do always recommend that you have a mannequin, but for this part I just chained, say, about 100. You really don't need that many, well, depending on how big your back is. But I'm just going to go in like a shoestring and go in on either side to connect the left side to the right side of our top, and that will allow you to actually wear it instead of, you know, the pieces just wailing on your back.